Remember, I said I came down here to check niggas in the whole nine, especially you, son.
Mob Life Entertainment. Lakers versus Charlotte. Lakers getting killed by Ish Smith. They getting killed by Ish Smith, bro. This is ridiculous. And they had cut it to two. They was down. Second year and came in, they cut it to two. Now it ain't all Westbrook fault. M.L.E ain't playing no defense for real either. But as soon as he put Westbrook in the game, they start running it up on him. He kind of sorry now. Like, I don't know, bro. He kind of sorry right now. Like, LeBron ain't in, AD ain't in. This your time to go ahead and do you. M.L.E doing him, though, on a scoring tip. THT doing okay. Even Bazemore doing okay. He got like 13 points or more, something like that. But where the defense at? Like, where the effort? Y'all not competitive at all. Y'all getting killed by Ish Smith. Ish Smith, bro. He out there cooking these niggas. He started off 5 for 5 off the bench. How? And then Bazemore, this dumbass step back three air ball. Like, they just going for theirs out there. Like, just going for stats. I guess everybody trying to play for a contract or a different team or something. Salute, bro. What's up, yo? This is ridiculous. These Lakers out of control. They out of control, man. Yeah, because Westbrook, he can't deal with this Lakers pressure. He really can't. And it's glaring. Like the type of plays that look George sitting there laughing. Like he know his team suck, but he can beat the Lakers. Yeah, he don't give a fuck. You can see it. Like he just be looking wild out there. He do some wild passes. Like he just out of control, 360 in the air, just throw the ball. Don't care where it goes, and it end up in a defender's hand. Third quarter is 56-73. Look, ball wide open, and don't get me started on Wayne Ellington. He ain't playing D. He ain't hitting no shots. Like, what is he out here doing? He's just breaking the sweat, just getting his exercise in. Westbrook can't hit a shot. He's shooting these little mid range. They usually be his bread and butter. You know, the old Russ, he come down full speed ahead and just pull up. Defender keep running because he got it down pat how to just get his body just pull up like that. Just stop on a dime. He tried now and he just looked goofy. Yeah, I don't see why the Lakers picked him up, man. You see Brooklyn ain't want him. And two of his best friends on the team, and they ain't even vouched to keep that man. So what made y'all pick him up? He don't get no effort on D. You're a big man, supposed to be a rim protector. You was known for just defense, so you never had offense. So once his defense was gone, it was like, what y'all pick him up for? Just trying to fill out a roster spot? That's the only excuse I can make for him. MJ over here laughing at these dudes. Like, this is ridiculous. Like last game, LeBron stood out. AD, he get into a little rhythm, drop 30 something, 4 blocks. He killing it on both ends. He was destroying Joel Embiid. So we didn't decide. Found out he ain't the problem. And let him get some more games under his belt. He gonna be back into the AD we know. And they got Bridges out here looking like an all-star. The only offense I see like real consistent right now is M.L.E and Bazemore. But Russ hitting threes, that's crazy. But he can't make a layup. But anyway, bro, once these players start getting into a rhythm, somehow Vogel likes to sit them down. I'm starting to notice that. A couple players, they get into a rhythm, he sit them down like, what the fuck? He just got hot. PJ Washington out here putting a little sign down saying they too little. Like, y'all can't let Charlotte drag on y'all like this. 61-73, PJ Washington at the line. He's saying y'all too. Look, PJ Washington saying y'all too little. Bro or nobody. He 2 for 6 from 3. 10 points now. Make the first free throw. But as arrogant as Westbrook is, he should not be playing like this. I don't care about these triple doubles. Yeah, you did it in the past and you a former MVP. What is you doing now, bro? You got an undeserved arrogance this year. Like I understand a lot of players be arrogant, but they back that shit up. Westbrook, you're not backing nothing up. And you want to act all crazy with the media. You ain't deserve to act like that. Cause this year you number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 on Shaq and the Fool. You top 5. All positions. I mean, all selects. Dang, what the fuck? They just let them do anything. Just a Shaq and a Fool Hall of Famer. That was a good pass. They doing windmill dunks on us. But yeah, when Westbrook missed, it's like a turnover. And they score off of it. He did this wild ass pass, almost went out of bounds, and Bradley saved it and tried to throw it in and got a turnover, all because of his wild ass pass. It just don't make sense. He got to go. I don't care what anybody say. Oh, you can't trade. They could trade him. They could trade him for a bag of chips and give me the chips. But no, on a serious note, they could trade him. You could get something for him. It's a team that will take him, and Houston is willing to negotiate. So that means they willing to take Russ. And there's probably plenty of other teams that's willing to take Russ. Who comparing Russ to MJ? Anybody who did that comparison was trolling. There's no way you can compare a guy like Westbrook to Michael Jordan. Ain't nothing alike. Not in no shape, nowhere near alike. They don't play the same pace. They don't shoot the same. Like they don't finish at the rim the same. Nothing. It's the same about them. I don't know who the hell did that. That's just ridiculous. They was trolling. Yeah, you see LeBron dropped 30 in 13 minutes. Don't compare LeBum to his Wait, they're about to get into the LeBron Jordan debate. Not yeah, we can, but we ain't gonna get into that. Jordan, he wanted to go, but there's a couple people in front of him right now. Damien, you trolling now. He not a top 5 player. What makes him not a top 5 player though? Because when you talk about the all-time greats, everybody got their own criteria. Some criteria don't make sense. Some of them be spot on. But it's impossible not to be a top 5 player and you on an all-time list in multiple categories and number one in some, like holding records, and like it's impossible. So I don't know why you say that. But what? They getting blown out by 20? No, they ain't down 20. They was. It's 79-67. The ball just wide open, shooting whatever you want. Westbrook coming down, out of control. About time he did something. He laid it, easy lay in. 69-79. Lakers could probably make a push, get this together. But if they don't play no defense, it means nothing. Which top 5 player has a losing finals record? I don't know. Who in your top 5? Everybody don't have the same top 5. How many top 5 players got a losing playoff record, period? Like, if you go and nitpick, we can nitpick, like, or create your own criteria. Like, how many top 5 players got swept in the first round 3 times? What's wrong with trading teams? With changing teams? Jordan handpicked this team, too. Wilt handpicked this team. Kareem. I don't understand why people use that logic. Jordan didn't play for the same team his whole career. Do you think losing in the first round is better than losing in the finals? Do you consider the Denver Nuggets a failing franchise during the Jokic Murray era? Is they a failing franchise? They're a losing franchise? Like, everybody got their own GOAT. They got their own top 5. Like, I ain't never trying to convince nobody they should like a player or your GOAT shouldn't be who it is. Everybody got their own preference. Get the fuck out of here about what? I asked you a question, you ain't answered. You brought up jumping from team to team, and you naming players who didn't play for the same team their whole career. I don't understand that. Y'all use that logic, but the logic doesn't make sense. Like I said, everybody got their own criteria. But the thing that makes your criteria make sense is that it is able to apply to every player, even the player that you're rooting for. And you can put that up against any other player that anybody can name and without moving the goalpost. 2011 erased LeBron from the table with the all-time greats. Who says that? Who came up with that? That's your criteria? If that's your criteria, ain't nobody in the top 5. Because everybody had a failing moment. Because we could say something like that. You could say Tragic Johnson, Wilt losing to Bill, MJ losing to the Bucks. Like, you could go on and on with players failing in the playoffs. That's why I said if you got criteria, it should be able to fit every player. Like,
Your shit should be solid, and you can put this up against anybody. Like I don't want to kill Jordan. Like Jordan, one of my favorites. Period. Yeah, he did. They played good defense on him collectively, but he wasn't guarding Jason Terry. Y'all see, hold on, because y'all say this as if I hear this a lot. Jason Terry, JJ Barea, none of them was guarding LeBron, and LeBron wasn't guarding them. Like you got plays here and there, they might get a switch and they probably guard him a play here and there. The primary person guarding LeBron was Jackson, and LeBron was guarding Jackson. I don't understand that. But to say 1 year or one fail defines a person's whole career, Jordan definitely wouldn't be the GOAT. Because him getting swept in the first round 3 times would define his whole career. Yeah, you probably ain't seen Magic Johnson play. Because they had a whole name for him called Tragic Johnson. Like everything you see going on, like it already happened. Like what you seen with LeBron, it was already seen with players that came before him, the good and the bad. I don't see how people create that narrative. Like y'all don't understand the stuff that y'all be doing. Y'all make LeBron seem greater than what he actually is because y'all create standards that you don't apply to any other player. Like y'all got standards that you don't apply to MJ, you don't apply to Kobe, you don't apply to Bird, you don't apply to Magic. It's only a standard for LeBron. So if he the only player that's held to different standards from every other player, what that makes him? In a class by himself. Because he don't have the same standards. Scotty ain't carry Michael Jordan. Scotty ain't carry Michael Jordan. He did his job as a sidekick. And he had a large role. Like 1 year MJ played point guard. He passed the ball more. He was down there averaging a triple double. And he was stat padding. If people don't know, they could go look at the article and such. It's MJ own words. He used to go to the score tables and go back to the bench, and they tell him you need 2 more assists, 4 rebounds, and such to get a triple double. And his words was, "Well, I'm doing all this, and if they don't believe that I'm a complete player by now, then yeah, they won't ever believe it." But he was doing that because he was trying to get that MVP. But while he was doing that, he was passing the ball more. Everybody else was scoring more. Even Cartwright was averaging 15 points. Pippen points went up. Hodges points went up. All these players' points was going up. Not Hodges. What the fuck is that nigga name? Was it Armstrong? I think it was Armstrong. Everybody points went up. I don't know why people create these narratives either. What what would be the reason he ducked playing the Sixers for? He ain't playing Charlotte either. He the only player that really that can't be injured or something. Like I heard when bro said he believed he faking and the injury changed from this to that. Players get injured. Players get sore. I didn't heard this for years that whenever LeBron is injured, he faking. I heard that for many years. So whenever he got an injury, it's fake. The man, 19 seasons, well, 17 seasons without a major injury. I don't respect low managing either. But You got times where Jordan was injured and didn't play. People thought he was faking. So was Jordan faking because they said he was injured? Jordan took off game or something like that. Jordan sat out damn near the whole season before he came back when he lost to the Magic. Like, people could say low management is cheating because you getting all this rest while these players putting that all that on their bodies, and then they not 100% when the 100% rested when the playoffs come. But if a player sit out damn near the whole season, come back 17 games, he's more rested than any other player in the playoffs. So if he's sitting out any player, low management, would y'all call that cheating? That's like cheating or something, right? Because he's more rested than any other player. I don't know. I gave it to you. He's more rested than any other player. So is that not cheating? And that's speculation that people will talk about because he say everything isn't a conspiracy. He's 37 and is prone to injury. Right. They forget he older. Pull it here. Take the whole thing with you. Yeah, but when a player injured, he injured, bro. Like you say, he ducked Philly, and I guess y'all expected him to come out Charlotte and destroy Charlotte. He's not playing for Charlotte either, nor is AD. So, what would be the reason that he ducked in Philly? It's not a playoff game. It's a regular season game. And AD was killing Joel Embiid. Getting blocks on him. He guarding him one-on-one, straight up. He's scoring on them. They was going back and forth. It was a good matchup. Lakers just sucked. Philly destroyed them. It's 82-78. Lakers got destroyed. Now people can say, "Oh, if LeBron would have played, they'd have won." And I hear a lot of people saying that. So what would be the point of ducking if most people feel like if he'd have played, they'd have won? It's still possible, but it depends on a lot of things. I don't think you winning with Russ. So if Russ don't get traded, I really don't think so. If they don't tighten up with this defense, they definitely ain't the fuck. Like they ain't getting out the first round. Shit. If they beat the play-in tournament. So it's a lot of ifs right there. But do they have the capability? Yeah, because you said when they put their shit together and they go here with the effort, they show they got lockdown defense. They got a top out offense, but that's not on a night-to-night basis, and it ain't for 4 quarters. But does 1 year define a whole person's career? "2011 defines LeBron's whole career." You say it leaves him off the top 5 list. How? That don't make sense. Because just 2016 alone would put him in the top 5 right there. He led a team that did something that no other team did in finals history. Come back from 3-1, and he led both teams in what 5 or more categories. All the most meaningful ones anyway. Points, rebounds, blocks, steals, and assists. He led both teams in all those categories. But I ain't here to change nobody's opinions. And, oh, you gotta like them. Your top five is your top five. Your GOAT is your GOAT. I just don't understand the narratives that people create because it don't make sense. Because you can't apply it to every player. Because when y'all say 6-0, which is impressive, when as soon as you bring up Bill Russell winning 6 straight and having 11 rings, then y'all talk about accolades and the competition. There wasn't that many teams in the league and this, that. Like, that don't make sense. So now you're going to fault a player for things that he can't control. He can't control he was born, when he was born, and played at the time that he played. Because if you could do that, then you could say that MJ beat virtually a bunch of nobodies. He beat an old Lakers team without Kareem. He didn't beat the Showtime Lakers. And then he beat a lot of inferior teams in an expansion league era. He didn't beat any champions. Like, you can go on and on when you talk about competition. Like, competition don't matter. People talk about the 90s this, the 90s this. The 90s is when it first started getting watered down. It started with MJ. So I don't see, y'all narratives don't be making sense. The Flavor 5 rule got implemented the year that MJ won his title, his first ring. That was the year that they started the Flavor 5s, the Flavor 5 rule. Now, he wasn't the only player pushing for it, but he pushed for it. He'd been pushing for it for a while. He got it in there. He got past the Pistons. He got past the Magic, HIV Magic with Worthy, no Kareem. He beat the Lakers. He got his ring. Now, he don't have control over who makes it there and who he faces, but who he faces, who he faces. How many teams that MJ beat that you'll compare to the Spurs or the Warriors? See, that's how you start nitpicking. See, I ain't want to do the LeBron versus MJ shit. But we can start right there just off competition. We can start with the finals and we can still do their whole career. But just right here in the finals, look at the competition, the level of competition. And we could go off MJ own words of how he had to play against these guards that we got now, these kind of the similar guards like Rod Strickland, Stephon Marbury. I thought we was debating. You brought up LeBron versus MJ. I'm giving you facts. See, we just was talking about this on on Lamar channel. When you bring out the facts, people get mad, start name calling, they want to fight. It don't make sense. Now, me bringing up facts makes me a Bron sexual. It's not even my favorite player. I just know the game. I know the history. I know the facts. I know more about MJ than all you JDR. So y'all eating too many ballparks. Y'all can't pay attention to what's going on. Like I was saying, MJ don't have control over who was in front of him, but who was in front of him was who was in front of him. See, y'all say I'm killing your narrative of as soon as I bring up Bill Russell, that's when y'all say, well, it was only this many teams and the players he was playing was this, that, and third. It was weak. And then gloat about MJ beating on inferior teams. That don't make sense. Why not just give him his flower and say, yeah, he was great, he did his thing, but I like this guy better because of this, because of that. Not, oh, this nigga shit don't count because I'm trying to make this player bigger than the other. That's crazy. And that's why I said you go off MJ own words, how he said he couldn't even guard Marbury. He couldn't guard Rod Strickland. They couldn't do nothing with him. MJ words. So imagine him trying to guard Steph Curry. Imagine him trying to guard Damian Lillard. Kyrie. You see what happened when he tried to guard AI. Jordan didn't let anyone eat in his prime. This is one of the biggest myths. I'm glad you brought it up. This is one of I just brought that up. How somebody ate during his time. He lost to the Orlando Magic, and then Magic lost to Hakeem. That means somebody ate. Hakeem got his ring when MJ got put out the playoffs against Orlando.
The KFC chicken sandwich is only served one way, straight from the fryer, piping hot, and Kentucky Fried to order. If you don't like it this way,
so I don't understand that. Shutting down a player. You know what shutting down a player is? When you prevent a player from getting his average or better. If a player still average the same shit he average, you didn't stop him. If you make him shoot a less efficient game, all you did was make him work hard. You didn't shut him down. Or he wasn't efficient, but he left with 30 points. That means he just worked harder. Any other night he efficient. That means it was a little easy. You just made him work harder. So if a dude averaged 28, you didn't shut him down. If a dude averaged 35, you didn't shut him down. So I don't understand that narrative. Nobody ate during MJ era. Enjoy any two classics for $6, like a Big Mac or 10-piece chicken McNuggets for a limited time at McDonald's. You ain't just hear me bring up MJ's stat pad.
Right now, at T-Mobile, customers on Magenta Max can get the new iPhone 13, and T-Mobile will pay for it. I'm talking new customers. I'm talking existing customers.
Did Kawhi guard him every single play? He still averaged 28 points. Kawhi couldn't guard him every single play. They got switches. Then another player is on him. Same shit on the opposite end. Only way you can stop a player from getting the switch is fighting over the switch, fighting under the switch. And then you stay on him, which Kawhi is very good at now. But at the time, he wasn't the elite defender that he is now. He was still elite, but he went to a whole nother level years later. That he could fight over them screens and shit like that. But if a player calls for a switch and you can't fight over the screen, that's the defender fault for not fighting over that screen and getting back on his man, because it's his job to stay on him and stop him. Calling for a pick is part of the offense for a player to try to make something happen, score, or play make, and you're supposed to stop him from doing that. That's basketball. DJ jump Walter with a big block. Every player in the league stat pads. You can't find one player that don't. Wide open threes, bro. They don't play no defense. Lucky he missed. So whatever narrative you got, because every narrative you just brought up just was killed with facts, not how I feel about it or nothing. And I know there's a lot of y'all just be reciting shit y'all hear. Like shit y'all heard Skip Bayless say. Skip Bayless just be trolling. He playing a character on his show. That's how they get their ratings. You got a good guy and a bad guy. Shannon a good guy, Skip the good guy. Everybody gonna turn in. You put LeBron name on something, everybody gonna click it. Whether you like him or not, you clicking it. You clicking it. Niggas who don't like him, they gonna click it. They hate. Motherfuckers gonna like him, gonna click him to go. So by them knowing that, they know to put him in the title and talk about him the whole show. But everything Skip's saying is not factual. He say a lot of shit not supported by facts. But he's smart because he put it out there and now people gravitate toward it and they spin it around. They push it around. Now it's a rumor. Now it's a narrative. Just like saying LeBron ain't clutch. And then you look at the all-time clutch records and shit like that. And he in there. Even beating out a lot of players for the number one spot in clutch situations. On defense and offense. But you still ain't answered my question, though. If a player get a rule change or a player sit out a whole season and come back virtually when the playoffs start, would you consider that cheating? Do you believe MJ guarded the best players on the opposite team all the time? Because this is another narrative I be hearing with no truth to it. All right, cool. I like that. Because that's a narrative I've been hearing and it don't make sense. When I never seen MJ shut down David Robinson or Tim Duncan. He didn't even guard Sean Kemp in the finals. And most of the tough assignments, Pippen had to carry him out. Even in the finals with Magic. MJ said, Pippen, you get him. He told Pippen go get him. Hey, he shut some players down, not all of them. He ain't always guarding the best player on the opposite team. Just like MJ when he shut down Drexler. MJ shut some players down. He just not always guarding the best player on the opposite team. No, I never seen any NBA player do it. They never guarding the best player on the opposite team in 4 quarters. And sometimes it's impossible to do it. Unless you're fighting over every screen. And even if you ain't fighting over every screen, majority of the game you on them. It's never happened. They got Ish Smith out here killing them, bro. This is just crazy. How y'all let Ish Smith do this to y'all? That shows y'all don't play defense. Like, who the fuck is Ish Smith? He get tossed around team to team. Damn near was out of the league. I think he was out of the league for a while. And he in here smoking, y'all. Cuban cigars. Y'all can't get a rebound. Westbrook just trash. He gotta go. LeBron and his dumbass friendships. Like, fuck your friendship. You should have never got Westbrook over here. I never wanted this guy. What's your top 5, Dame? Your top 5 all time. Not your favorite players. Just your top 5 all time. Oh shit. Shoot the ball, Westbrook. That young ass fucking mid-range. He missed. 91-97. Ty Rozier out here cooking these. Oh my God. Plumlee out here doing back with dunks off the oop. Jordan, Kobe, Magic, Kareem, and Hakeem. That's a nice top 5. Mine's is Kareem, Bron, Jordan, Magic, Bird. Well, Bird, Magic. and that's in order. I got Kobe all the way to number 10. He barely making number 10 to me. And you see, you got Kobe in your top 5. Everybody got their own criteria. They got their own reason for why they make their shit. Trash. My top 5 trash. You got the same people in your top 5 except Hakeem and Kobe. And you ain't got LeBron. No, you ain't got Bird. You got Kareem, Magic, Jordan. You just got 2 different. A top? What the fuck are you talking about? Trying to sound smart? What the hell are you talking about? I said top 5 all time. I said Kobe barely making number 10 for me because you can make an argument that Hakeem had a better resume. You can make an argument that another player got a better resume. Like, see what I do when I look at players as far as the all-time list, I look at their responsibilities too. And that's why I got Bird in front of Magic. Magic didn't have the same responsibilities that Bird had his whole career. Magic was a sidekick for years and won rings. Same shit with Kobe. He was a sidekick for years and won rings. So for people who hate LeBron, I could just imagine if he won 3 rings as a sidekick before he became a number 1 guy and won 2 rings, have 1 MVP. He got 1 regular season MVP, 2 finals MVPs, but he got 5 rings. I don't even see how y'all try to compare him to Jordan. That shit is laughable. And I'm a Lakers fan, but I ain't gonna cap for nobody's career. Kobe is great, one of the greats, hands down. It ain't even a, you know what I mean? He one of the greats. But when you put him up against the rest of the greats, I compare him to players like Magic, Duncan, players who was sidekicks at one point in their career, like I would do with Kawhi. He's a sidekick at one point in his career. Yes, he won his rings the hard way. What? But hold on, what you call a hard way? Stand with one team? Oh, he did though. The deck was stacked for him before he tried to stack the deck a couple times. The deck was already stacked for him. Before he won his first ring, we had 4 All-Stars and we lost. We traded 1 All-Star for another All-Star, and then we won Shaq and Kobe first ring. We got rid of Eddie Jones for Glenn Rice, and we won. We traded 1 All-Star to get another, and we already had 3. I mean, we already had 4. We swapped out 1, got a different one. But when we had those 4 All-Stars from initially, we lost. And then when Shaq left, we missed the playoffs with Kobe in his prime. He fought through it, threatened to leave. So that's what I was getting to. Player don't. So, oh, he hooked the shit out of him. So by your narrative, yeah, Paul Gasol, they had a solid team. He did his thing. But by your narrative, a player, he tried to go to the Clippers, he tried to go to Chicago. So just because he didn't pan out and he didn't leave doesn't mean that he shouldn't get criticized for trying. He was trying to get the fuck out of there on us. Kobe done got situations to where as though he went a whole half without scoring, without shooting the ball. Not even scoring. He didn't even shoot the ball. Saying he wanted to prove a point, and then Phil Jackson blamed the loss on him. Whole interview, Phil Jackson blaming Kobe. Like, that's why I said you could go through history. Every player got their faults. Every player got their triumph moments. But that one moment doesn't define his whole career. But Kobe got 5 rings. He got 2 finals MVPs. Guess who got the rest of them? And that's why I got Shaq ranked ahead of Kobe. Shaq was the man. Kobe was the sidekick. Shaq led them 3 chips. Kobe was playing the Scottie Pippen role, the Kyrie Irving role. He did his thing. He did his job. They got their rings. But that's not the same responsibility as Jordan be the number 1 guy his whole career versus Kobe playing with somebody that's better than him and being somebody's sidekick for a large part of his career. So I can't compare them players to each other because their whole career ain't the same. They don't have the same responsibilities. They just ran it up again, 101-91. Russ is just so disappointing. And now we was talking last night, and the dude said, "Oh, you know Jordan played for the Wizards." Nigga said, "Oh, the Wizards don't count." But y'all say, "Oh, Jordan averaged such and such for his career." Yeah, he did. But in the regular season, they gotta lose a record against him. Neither one of them seen each other in the final. Yeah, he locked them up in the All-Star game. The same All-Star game y'all down play every year. Saying that it's bullshit and don't nobody play for real. The All-Star game been like that. Because people still realize they gotta save that shit for the meaningful games. The All-Star game really don't mean shit. They gotta worry about their season. They gotta worry about the playoffs. So you ain't gonna see players out there putting their 100% in the All-Star game. But yeah, he locked him up. He was teaching LeBron. For a lot of years in his career, he was giving LeBron pointers and shit like that. That's one of the players LeBron looked up to. I don't see why Kobe fans and LeBron fans always talk about. They make it like they was beefing.
With Windows 11, we all do different things. Mia's is doing illustration.
What's awesome is to be able to combine.
He made him his son. I don't know what you mean by that one.
It's just so much faster for me to render these clips.
That's when them dudes forged the bond and became friends.
Snap tools, and it's so responsive.
We've been working together from pretty much everywhere.
With Windows 11, we're just doing
They got their gold medal and shit.
This is the move right here. Boom. Boom.
My turn. My bag of chips. Be your contract.
You can say Jordan, son Kobe. Like, he looked up to Jordan. He want to be like Jordan. He even chew his gum like Jordan. Like, some of the stuff y'all be saying just be off the wall sometimes. Like, you could give a player props without trying to tear down another one. Like, they all great. Some greater than the other. But I could give you one player whole career without downplaying another player. And just show that he was great or greater. Like, y'all would tear down a whole era to try to make another era or another player seem better. Like, if you really analyze this era versus the 90s, the players now is more talented. They're more skilled. I would say that they're more skilled. Like, look at every big man now. Jordan flop too. Every NBA player in this motherfucking league flop from back then to now. But if you look at the players now, look at the big men alone. Every big man is working on 3-pointers now. They working on passing now. They working on guard skills. 7-foot guards. Back then, they wasn't doing that. So if these same big men can rebound and have a post game, and along with that, they can pass, they can put the ball on the floor and make a play. They can step out and shoot a 3, stretch the floor. Wouldn't that make them more skilled than the 90s era big men? And then you look at the guards. Every guard is stepping out trying to shoot 40-footers. And a lot of them knocking them down. A lot of them got handles more unusual than what they had back in the 90s. Like, damn near every guard could give you a mean crossover now and a step back. You even see rookies coming in doing crossover and a step back. Back then, a lot of those guards, they was pure guards that wasn't focused on scoring. They was just focused on playmaking. They just trying to get the ball to the big man. Because that was their job back then. Feed the big man. MJ was ahead of his time. He was just a shooting guard. He did his job. He supposed to score. And that's what he did. He went and scored. And his style of scoring wasn't the same as what they usually see. He was ahead of his time. But now you got, and his athleticism is just crazy. But now you got so many guards athletic like that. They trying to score like that. You got small forwards, power forwards, athletic like Jordan. You got Zion Williamson gliding from the free throw line. Zach LaVine doing a windmill from the free throw line. Like, shit that you'd never see a 90s, them doing in the 90s. Very few players was doing it. Like, you could take one of the average players. Some say he bullshit. Derrick Jones Jr. Shorty could jump out the fucking gym and do amazing shit with his athleticism. And you got so many players athletic like that now. And like I said, they all working on multiple things now. They're not just working on one thing. Like, oh, a center supposed to do this. Every center trying to turn into a guard now and still keep their big man abilities too. So when y'all turn down one era, y'all don't know y'all bigging up another era, because when you start looking at things like that, you see shit from a previous era that you're not seeing now. But that's the part of the game evolves. Players evolve. And when y'all see this era weak and they flop and all that shit, it came from the previous era. These ticky-tack fouls and shit, that shit started in the 90s. The flagrant foul rule was implemented in 1991. And they started the year off. Pistons couldn't handle the shit. They couldn't foul the same, because if they did, a player was subject to getting thrown out the game. And that shit stopped a lot of 80s style game. That was the 80s who was doing those fouls, and the player still was still in the game. And don't get it mistaken, they was calling them fouls. You just wasn't getting thrown out the fucking game. It was just a common foul. Once they started that in 1991, they were throwing their ass out the game. And then they started tightening up more, because they said they implemented that rule because they wanted to try to reduce the injuries. I didn't know Malik Monk wasn't even playing. They was trying to reduce the injuries and have more scoring in the game. And they got it. So it started back then. So everybody who be killing this era saying, oh, it's ticky-tack fouls and all this other shit, like, it started back then. They just get more strict as time goes on. Westbrook gets up the fucking ball. Oh, I knew he was going to pass it. You did all that dribbling for what? Charlotte, Lakers ball. But let me ask you something. What makes MJ better than Kareem? As far as the all-time list, what MJ number one on, or top 5 on, or top 10 on? How many categories? Kareem got 6 rings too. They down 4, 101, 105. MJ 3-peated twice. Yes, he did. So that's what makes him better than Kareem. He dominated his competition. So did Kareem. Yeah, he did. So that's what makes him better than Kareem to you? Because you can name stuff that Kareem did that MJ didn't do. Kareem won Finals MVP for 2 different teams. And I think MVP, if I'm not mistaken, a regular season MVP. But he got, what, 6 regular season MVPs. She only got 6 Finals MVPs. So that's what I'm saying. You could. That's what makes Kareem him better than Kareem to you. And I respect that. That's cool. That's your opinion. That's what you like. And nobody should be mad at you about it. That's how you feel. That's how you feel. I just was asking you because there's a lot of shit that somebody could bring up that makes Kareem's resume more impressive than MJ's. And people will ignore that and say MJ is just better than them just because. That's what I mean by criteria, Joe. Everybody got their own criteria and shit. But you shouldn't be mad at somebody if they say LeBron the GOAT, or they got LeBron in their top 5, or Kareem is the GOAT, or they say Bird is better than Jordan, or some shit like that. That's just, it's their opinion. I just don't like when people bring up narratives without facts or move the goalposts during the debate. Like I see people bring up other stuff, the killing person argument, and then they move the goalposts because they can't hold up against what they saying. Lakers about to lose. It's 101, 108. Westbrook trying, but he look goofy as shit. A glorified Karl Malone. What makes him a glorified Karl Malone, bro? Like, he light years ahead of Malone, and there's no similarities in that except body type, body structure. That's it. Nothing about LeBron screams Karl Malone. One dimensional. What makes him one dimensional? What that says? Hold on. What that says about the league? If LeBron is one dimensional, this is why I be saying y'all be making him seem greater than what he is. If he's one dimensional and can dominate his era, then what that says about the league and the rest of the players in the league? if a one-dimensional player can dominate you for year in, year out. People say KD is better, but LeBron got a more impressive resume, and he's one-dimensional. These guys and one, they really cut. What? Vogel ain't gonna challenge that? The referee all the way down the court called. What the fuck? Vogel's there just sitting there. Vogel gotta go. Him and Westbrook gotta go. Even Charlotte commentators saying it's an offensive foul.
My name is Janae, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A chicken tortilla soup is it makes me feel
2 minutes left.
inside. This is what cozy feels like.
What makes it one-dimensional though?
Next to a fireplace with people you love.
Because by you saying that, you just downplayed the rest of the players in the league. You just downplayed every other team. You basically saying every other team suck, every other player suck. Because LeBron is able to dominate y'all and he's one-dimensional. Now I can explain why he's not one-dimensional. But I just want to see why you say he's one-dimensional. He can only score in the paint. That's cat. That's cat. He scored from everywhere on the court. It's more easier for him to score in the paint. Unsuccessful? Wow. Yeah, he was moving. I ain't even going to argue with that one. He was moving. Why you say he's not a great passer? I ain't never hear this from somebody who say he's not a great passer. Why? What makes him not a great passer? Bridges got 25 points. 26. 102, 111. Nine-point game. That makes him not a great passer. I doubt if he got most turnovers in history, bro. That makes him not a great passer. Even if he did have most turnovers in history, how would that still make him not a great passer? Every year he averaging over 6 assists. He on the all-time list as far as assists. I think he top 10 all-time. In the league right now, he's still one of the premier passers. What makes him not a great? I don't see what supports what you're saying. Ish Smith killing these niggas. Ish fucking Smith, bro. 106, 113, yo. This is ridiculous. Westbrook hitting threes, though. This is crazy how he can miss layups wide open and make a three-pointer. It's 109, 113. Westbrook got 27. An ugly 27 at that. Ty Rozier. Who is Westbrook guarding? PJ Washington. Bridges. Ish wide open. Ish just killed them. What the fuck? 109, 1. They can't guard Ish Smith, bro. Westbrook may shoot another three. And he made it. What the fuck? 112, 115. And Westbrook is one of the leaders as far as clutch in the final minute with time buckets and go-ahead buckets. And that's surprising since 2008, 2009. Him and Damian Lillard. That's surprising. He actually hitting his threes right now. It's 112, 115. That's a three, bro. Don't even play with us like that. Niggas, play some defense. You gonna walk over there to Bridges and put the three in his face. Stop him. Play some D on him. They want to review the three. This is crazy. Y'all wouldn't even review a fucking foul. But y'all want to review a three? Look at Ish Smith. Step back jump on Carmelo. He actually don't. Russ stat pad too. Russ is stat. Every player stat pads. I don't see why y'all keep talking about stat pad. I can show you a video right now. Let me see. Yeah, his foot ain't on the line. That's a three. I can show you a video of Kobe still in the game doing garbage minutes to get a 50-point game. And they lost. Every player stat pads, bro. But Russ do not play better with LeBron off the floor because he been fucking up this whole game. Most points in a half by a Lakers since Kobe's final game. Kobe had 30 and a half. Russ don't know how to control the game. And he sucked on defense. Good defense, M.L.E. Give it to Westbrook. Fuck it. He didn't want to give Westbrook the ball. That's a foul, ref. Oh, he got... Oh. 114, 115. 24 seconds left. Foul him. They fouled Terry Rozier. Jordan, man, he got up and walked off. Jordan got up and walked the fuck off. I would too, though. They was up 20, man. Westbrook, I give it to Westbrook right now. He brought them back with them back-to-back threes and the back-to-back points. Was that goaltending? That might have been goaltending. It wouldn't matter anyway. Well, it would matter because they had more time on the clock. They're going to have to foul them again. It's 114, 115. Everybody got 20 except LaMelo. As far as the start, well, Ish Smith off the bench with 22. Terry Rozier got 20. Miles Bridges got 26. Melo got 19. LaMelo. See, if Westbrook played better without LeBum in the game, he'd be controlling these games. He wouldn't be letting these games get out of control the way he is. Foul him. What the fuck is y'all doing? They better not call a flagrant. He flopped. It's a flop, bro. Oh, he flopped like a motherfucker. Ball trying to do that. Ball at the free throw line. Make the first one. They're going to need a 3.
You fucking got me.
I don't got him.
Where are my cookies?
I don't know. Ball on the second free throw.
Be safe.
He missed it. Timeout Lakers. Just go for the 2. Why say go for the 3? Just go for the 2, bro. They're going to go for the 3, though. Watch. Westbrook decision-making is what fucks him up. At the wrong times, he make the wrong plays. I hope they don't go for the 3. Let's score the ball. To me, it still ain't a better player with a better resume than Kareem. Charlotte. Ain't that little baby manager? He at the game. And then Kareem, he on that all-time list in multiple categories. Russ with the ball. 6 seconds left. I knew he was going to go for the 3. I knew it. What'd I just say? I knew he was going to do it. I knew it. Bro, that's fucking crazy. I knew he was going to go for the 3. Damn, bro.
So to him, that's a good shot. Right there, you're riding him this entire second half. Now it comes down to what's the call. And they're going to put .2 on the clock. But at this point, that's not going to change the result. With Charlotte leading by 2.
And then why wasn't y'all down there to get the read? Y'all knew he was going to shoot it.
Just 0.2 of a second left. The Hornets are going to hang on. Without just down to the decision for Westbrook to pull for 3 rather than get to the rim. So they saw what happened.
That's all he had to do. Get to the rim. He got 35. Dang, bro. I ain't just going for the 2. Who that was really happy. Lakers lose 114-117. All they had to do was lay the ball in, take it into overtime. But instead of doing that, Russ went for the 3. He'd have made it, have been good though. So I ain't even mad about it. I'm glad he had the confidence for it. Fuck it. Because he ain't really been having no real confidence in that 3, and he hit back-to-back 3s. He was doing okay. He did all right. I ain't even going to trash Russ right now. He was doing all right. He had some bonehead plays, some bonehead turnovers. Overall, I say he did good. They had that game, though. But that says a lot with this team. If you got Russ on the floor and you still can't get a win over Charlotte. And then was down 20. Trail most of the game. That says a lot. But my favorite player playing, Giannis, about to cook New York. Giannis with the turnaround fadeaway. 3 for 3. 3 for 3 right now. Kemba Walker with the jumper. Man. Chris Middleton. Everybody been trying to downplay Chris Middleton like y'all did when Giannis won his MVP. Whole time he a 50, 40, 90 player. But y'all saying Giannis ain't had no help. Giannis my man, but I'm not going to cat for nobody's career. My man had help. Chris Middleton was a 50, 40, 90 player. He was an all-star. They had a solid team. They had shooters around them. They had rebounders. They had everything you need to win a championship, and they had a good coach. Still got a good coach. He had help. That whole narrative they kept playing that whole year. Giannis doing it, but he don't have no help. He don't have no help. I'm like, what the fuck? Ain't Chris Middleton an all-star? Chris Middleton in the 50, 40, 90 club. LeBron not in that club. Jordan not in that club. Magic not in that club. Kareem not in that club. Most of the top 5 greatest all times you would put in there is not in that club. Kobe ain't in that club. Like, seriously? How does no help? It's ridiculous.
Aren't others doing that? Others say that, but not everyone gets the best.
It's ridiculous, bro.
What if I give you a lollipop? Then I gave you our best lollipop.
But
that's not fair.
I like that they played. All of them got their individual game. LeBron just got his game where he went off. They won that game, but AD got his game where when he went off, we lost. Westbrook got his game where he went off, we just lost. Now, once all of them get their feel, they get their rhythm, now y'all see, y'all should be able to coexist with all 3 of y'all on the court, get this team in order. See, Westbrook brought the offense tonight. He didn't have the defense. The team didn't have the defense. AD on the floor, they played D. AD and LeBron on the floor, they played D. Now, what Vogel got to do is let Howard get his game where he goes off. You need the White Howard. That's your rim protector. You need him. Let that man, let him bang. Give him some touches. Push it to him. Like, majority of this is just defense with you. Let him go hand with the defense. Give him some touches to make him feel more comfortable that he's a big part of the team. He's a big part of the offense, which he's not really going to be, but you can count on him if you throw it in down there. You know, the White could probably get you 6 buckets in the paint. He could probably leave with a double-double. Now all the superstars, the big 3, got a fill. Westbrook get his fill. He dropped 35 tonight. Everybody got their fill. And now you get your team back in order. So when all of them come back, y'all play some fucking defense. And then y'all learn how to coexist with each other. Vogel get these rotations in line. He should have been 5 for real. In my opinion. It was a good game, though. I ain't gonna lie. It still was a good game. He can't play M.L.E that many minutes, though. M.L.E, he don't move. He's the oldest player on the team. Him and Ariza, I guess. He can't be banging like that with all the minutes because he don't play D. You gotta hold Melo accountable. Like he already had one reality check, and that's what made him. All right, I come off the bench. Fuck it. He can't. He's a new Melo now, not the same Melo, but a different version now. A great 6-man right now. Now Vogel hold him accountable on defense. He'll start getting his defense shit together. Just let Melo play them big men. Put him on a power forward, the center. Here and there, let him play a small forward, even though I don't think he should play small forwards too long. He can't guard no guards. They cooking him. But when he stationary, don't have to move too much. Like when he guarding a big man, he could stick with a big man because they ain't doing too much running around. That's cool for Melo because he can play good defense on big men if he don't have to run around. And if Vogel hold him accountable, he'll get his defense in order. You're a defensive-minded coach. You got to put these players in a position where you're going to force them to play D. Remember Gridiron Gang, where he told his running back, he came in practice, gave him the ball, said, get over there, now come and run me over. That's what you got to do to Melo. Come on, Melo, get right there. Give your best guard the fucking ball, or your best big man, and tell Melo guard his ass. That's what we're going to do the whole practice. You going to guard this nigga. And we're going to count how many times you shut this nigga down. And you force that shit on him. Bobby Portis. Kush. Kush and alcohol. RJ Barrett missed an easy ass layup.
Just to your point about the Knicks, and you're right, you know, you can look at the record and say, well, this looks very similar. It was a 16-4 record down the stretch. But as Tom Thibodeau said to us,
all right, I'm signing out. I'm going to go check on some things. You might little YouTube walk real quick, and I'll play with my kids. Appreciate all y'all coming through. Damon, appreciate you coming through, bro. Nice chopping it up with y'all.
I said I came down here to check niggas in the whole nine, especially you, son.
I'll see y'all in the next game.